Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and what a relegation battle we are having in La Liga. Sevilla with a massive win against Atletico Madrid. They won 2-1 and they've gotten themselves out of that relegation zone. I mean, I keep on saying what a relegation battle we are having right now. Last night, Real Madrid lost. Today, Elche won their game earlier on, and now Sevilla have defeated Atletico Madrid. Every single team at the bottom of the table, trying to one up each other and trying, fighting tooth and hard to make sure that they are not in that, relegation battle. Mallorca won last week, and then everybody thought Mallorca did something great, but that did not happen. And now Sevilla, they started the game before, Elche started their game, being in that relegation battle against Espanyol, and Elche won that game and they got out of that relegation places on that 18th place, and then Sevilla were in that 18th position when they started the game against Atletico Madrid, and now they have won and they have climbed up out of those relegation places. And now, unfortunately, I think Mallorca are back in that relegation places. I'm not sure, I've not seen the table, but for one thing I'm sure about is Sevilla are out of the bottom three. And the game, I mean, the games, I were hands down to Sevilla. The way that they played, the way that they took on Atletico Madrid, it was not a fluke. It's not like it was a smash and grab or anything. They completely dominated Atletico Madrid in every aspect of the game. They, the way the way that they attacked, they got a penalty early on, but the only reason they got that penalty was they took the game to Atletico Madrid. They were really good. They started, on the front foot. They went at it, the passing, the movement, the chances that they created. They put Atletico Madrid under pressure. They forced the mistake from Atleti, and they got the reward out of that. Akor Adams steps up, places the ball in the back of the net, and it becomes a 1-0. And for majority of that game, and after that, you could see, what Sevilla were trying to do. Atleti were all over the place. I personally think, Atletico Madrid's mindset is currently not in La Liga, because they know nothing can change. No matter how hard they try, the only two positions that they can finish is third or fourth. They cannot challenge for the title. Nobody from below can come and catch them. So basically, they are not really that bothered about the La Liga. That's what I personally think, and it showed today as well, with the way that they were playing. I mean, it was like they were not, they really did not care. The passes were going, all over the place, if I'm being very honest with you. And Sevilla took advantage of that. They came back, courtesy of Abunde's scoring, and that is another story in itself. And if the game, he would have won that game, or he would have drawn that game, and he would have gotten Atleti a point, that would have been a big story for him, lifelong fan, and coming into the club and scoring for the club. But unfortunately for him, it did not happen. And Nemanja Gulj steps up and scores that header. I mean, what a towering header just before that halftime, and Sevilla retake the lead, and it becomes 2-1. And that second half defensive performance, I mean, if there was a team auditioning how to defend a 1-goal lead, I think the first person who would come to judge, or one of the first two persons who would come and judge them, would be Diego Simeone. And that Sevilla team and that Sevilla manager, they did that in front of Diego Simeone. They frustrated Atletico Madrid. They did not let them do anything. They had the ball for such a long time, and they barely did anything. I think they had like 2 shots on target for the entirety of that 90 minutes. That shows how good Sevilla were in that game. The way that they defended, the way that they controlled the ball, not only when they did not have the ball were they really good, but whenever they had the ball, you could see that they wanted to go forward, they wanted to create something, and they wanted to score. Atletico Madrid really did not do anything good in this game, if I'm being very honest with you. That is why I said it is not a fluke. Yeah, it is not like they got a goal from set piece or whatever, or they got a goal for a penalty or not. They 100% deserve to win that game because of how they played, and how with the confidence that they played with. It did not look like this is a team fighting for relegation. It felt like this is a team who really who is on par with Atletico Madrid, and they are supposedly a title winning team. And that's how Sevilla played. They themselves knew how important this game was. As I said earlier, they started the game in the bottom three. They needed that win, especially with other teams around them winning and gaining points and whatnot. It was very important for very important for Sevilla to get the win here or get some sort of points, and getting a 3 points is huge for them. It creates that imbalance. Every single game in La Liga is very important because you have so many teams in different positions. You have people fighting for the title, you have those European places, then you have that relegation battle, which currently, in my opinion, up until you go to 12th or 13th, like there are 8 or 9 teams still in contention to get relegated, and so every single game is very important, and Sevilla getting that win was massive. Again, a tremendous performance from them, defensively, offensively, and their fans were really up for it. And a special shout out to them, the way that they carried their team when it was 1-1, the way that they pulled them back, and they made sure that the heads don't drop. I think a special mention to the fans, because they really stepped up. And I think every single player on that Sevilla side, they ran their socks off. The way in that second half, that defensive shift is really admirable. This is a team who's really fighting to save their La Liga status. They don't want to go back down into Liga 2, and this is something, and this fighting spirit could be the reason that they end up staying up. I understand there are teams around them that are doing the same, who are that are winning games and getting points at crucial stages of the season. Like, as I said, Elche won today as well, so it's a big win for them. Mallorca won last weekend against Real Madrid of all sorts. So it's not done and dusted for Sevilla. It's not like they are safe only. There are still 7 games to go in the league. Anything can happen, and so many things will happen. There are going to be so many twists and turns. But for Sevilla tonight, a massive win, huge 3 points, and they could look back at the end of the season and they said, that win against Atletico Madrid helped us to stay in the La Liga. That's how big it is. That's how massive it is. And it's not only just the 3 points. It's not only the performance, the confidence that it's going to give the players, that they were able to defeat Atletico Madrid. So when they face teams, who are not as big as Atletico Madrid, some of the teams who are in that mid-table position, or some of the teams who are around them, the confidence that they are going to have now because of this game is going to be really important for them to fight for those relegation places. So again, a massive win. Congratulations to them. Atletico Madrid, as I said, their performance was not really there. I think mentally they were not really there. Their main focus is at the moment for that Champions League second leg quarterfinal against Barcelona. They have a 2-0 league, but they know Barcelona can do anything. And I think Diego Simeone himself, he did not play that many players. There was a lot of substitutions. He wanted to make sure that his players were rested. And as I said, I think the entirety of that club's main focus is at the moment is towards those Champions League places, and they are not really bothered, and they don't really care about La Liga at the moment, because as I said before, they can either finish 3rd or 4th, and it doesn't really matter, because both of those apart from some sort of monetary gains, both of those places guarantee you Champions League football. So it's nothing really special. But again, for Sevilla, massive 3 points. That is for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Sevilla's performance, and do you think they would be able to stay in the La Liga, or do you think they are going to go down? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the season, about 50 subscribers remaining, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.